Hi, and welcome. This is Cousin Russ. I thought I would take a few minutes to explain how I handle emails. Now, we all have a lot of emails that we send back and forth while we do our research, and I thought I would share with you how I handle them in Family Tree Maker. Now, in an earlier broadcast, I talked about how I handle research notes. And research notes and emails, to me, should be talked about in the same context. So I'm going to go to this person in the notes, and there's some notes here uh, that are on this person. But let me look at the research notes. In the research notes, I found an email from 1998 and from a gentleman named Eric Worthington. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to change this research notes to the way I want it today. So I put a couple extra lines and I'm going to bring in the bullets and I'm going to put today's date. If I learn how to type, I'm going to put today's date in, and then I'm going to put a dash, and then I'm going to take out the extra lines, and I'm going to unbold the text. It's not important that I have it bold or unbold. That's up to you. But it has an email from Eric on the 27th of January 1998 at 8:22. Now that's important because if I have a bunch of emails that went back and forth on the 27th, I can tell them apart. So I'm now going to go to the sources workspace, and at the top is that email address. Now there's some links to some facts on the data that was in the email, but the first thing that I want to do is put this into the template format. To do that, I click Add, and I click New, and then I type the first 3 characters of what I'm looking for, and I typed EMA, and at the top of the list is email. Now, in my specific case that I have I'm illustrating, I've already done that, so I'm going to cancel these screens, but bring up the screen that I would have had I completed it. I have Eric as the collection, because he and I have at least 8 emails in this from the source that is Eric. So I just call it the Eric Worthington collection of emails. And the researcher, that's me. I have that in the researcher surname and researcher forename, and then I have the researcher email address and my address, and the writer surname and his first name, forename, Eric. I don't have his address in this screen because I didn't want it to be out there, but I have his email address, and the recipient was me. We're just going to change that from the way I had it and just put my first name in there and click OK. So now I have that email, same information as his full name. That's what his full name is, and his email address. And the email was on the 27th of January 1998 at 8:22. And here's what the citation looks like. There are the facts that are linked to that citation. Now, what's not here is the text. Where does the text of that message go? Well, since I've learned how to use notes, which we didn't always have, I want them there. The text of the email is not here. I want it there, so I'm going to go over back to the people workspace and my research notes, because in the research notes was the text of that email, which I had copied from the email and put it into the notes field wherever it was when I cleaned it up. It wasn't here, it was someplace else. So I'm going to click on and go back to the resources workspace, and now what I'm doing is putting those notes, the text of that email, into the notes section for that email. So there's the source. The source is an email. There's the citation. There's the end note or reference note, and there's the text of the email, and there are the links. So I know where it is. Now I'm going to just double click on that name and go back to the People Workspace of Persons tab, and it was his name. So one of the 8, there's a bunch of emails that he and I went back for this person, and it's right here. So I can look, there's my research notes. I kept that tab open. I can close that and just look at the notes that I had to begin with. So there is the notes for that person. There's my research notes. It tells me that I transcribed that, put that email where I believe it now belongs, and it sure helps me. So I can go back to the sources and the source notes, and there's the text of that email. So that's what I wanted to share with you. We all have choices, and I hope that you take advantage of those choices. That's just how I've learned how to use email and track them. By the way, I have a collection in the sent side of that for me as originator, and my Eric collection, and the email back to him, so I can see the dialogue. Hope that's helpful. Thank you.